Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I have a Robalo with a twin 2020 Yamaha F-150s. Customer complains that the port engine, he goes into gear goes well, but after he wants to advance the throttle, it feels like it's stuck. It doesn't pass idle, it's not going anywhere, it's just stuck. So the first thing that you think of is probably the cable anchor, or something wrong with the control box. So let's take a look at it and see what it is. Follow me on this. All right, so I'll be moving the camera a little bit, so bear with me. All right, so we're going to the port motor, which is this handle right here. We press the neutral button right there and put it into a neutral, right? And then going into advance to advance the throttle. Yes, it's definitely, yes, you can feel the force right there. It's definitely something there. Something probably in the control box or the control cable. So now let's go back to the control cable, see what's going on here. Okay, first thing we see is that the shifting, it's okay and it's shifting correctly. The anchor on the throttle cable, I take it off and I put it on. So it was on, it's good. Then we remove the safety clip, right? We take the safety clip off. Let's see if I can do it with one hand while the camera on the other. Take the safety clip off and remove the cable, right? Now let's go back to the control box. All right. Back to the control box, push the neutral button, completely free. All right, and let's look at the control cable. Let me see if you can see there. Okay, I'm gonna try to do it with one hand. See how it moves? Okay, so we know that the control cable and the control box are not the issue. All right, so now next, we're gonna go ahead and remove the airbox, all right, right here. It's part of the intake manifold. I usually call the intake manifold whatever is after the throttle plate, but you can call this part of the intake manifold or airbox, okay? So go ahead, we're gonna go ahead and remove the blow-by hose, which is this one, right on the top. There is a plastic fitting right there on top of the airbox. Remove that hose from there. And then we'll go ahead and remove these bolts. One right here in the front, close to the filter. The other one a little more to the top. Right, that one right there below the blow-by hose, okay? And then a bunch of little screws holding the airbox in place, right? They are not the big ones. Don't mess with these big ones. I think they are 13. All the ones you're gonna remove are number 10. So there is one here. I already removed a few. There's another one here, another one inside here, another one outside here, and another one all the way below here, and this box come off, all right? There are like 1, 2, 3, 4, I think 5 or 6 these little guys right here. And then this airbox is coming out, just like so, okay? And that will expose your throttle plates. Oh Lord. So we definitely have an issue here that we're gonna need some detective work. Why? Because I noticed several things. In this same motor, let me bring this thing here. In this same motor, customer wanted to run the motor the other day and it wouldn't start. The appendix will just rotate, but it wouldn't come up to engage the flywheel. So after troubleshooting and all that, I had to remove the starter and put a new one. This is a new starter. Now, about a week later, the same motor comes with this issue. And as soon as I took the flywheel cover off, I noticed several things. First, I can see all the crown, all the teeth of the flywheel corroded. Then when we go back, we see the tensioner right here, the tensioner pulley or idler pulley is very, very corroded. Look at that. Let's rotate it a little bit, see? See, very, very corroded. And you can see that for some reason there is, I already checked the thermostat on the side. Thermostat is not leaking. The hose to the thermostat is not leaking. Where is this water coming from? I still don't know, but let's go to what the issue is. The issue were the, the throttle plates, and that's what we got. Look at that. Oh yeah. This is definitely water. The bottom two, nothing on the top two. So it could be right here on the bottom two, only the bottom two, means that, let me see here, this airbox, right? See, it's got the intake right at the bottom, see? So it's very easy for those two screens to get air directly to the top bottom ones. Also for gravity, of course. It's harder if water is getting through here to go up to number 1 and 2. You know, gravity will take it to 3 and 4, all right? So that's what we got. We got 3 and 4 completely corroded. Look at that thing. Wow, remove this linkage right here, the one that attaches to the roller cam follower. See, this is your cam follower. Now, if I go by hand, we know that the mechanism, the whole linkage for the throttle is fine, right? We know that the issue is here. See, if I pull, in this case, I have to pull to open up the throttle plates, and I can't. There is no way I'm gonna move that. While you're working on this, do not, I repeat, do not twist, turn, or change the length of this linkage right here, all right? Very, very important. We can get into that in link and sync procedures and tune-up of this motor. So let's see what's going on and remove the throttle body, complete throttle body, and try to lubricate it or try to save it so the guy don't have to pay the complete part, which is plenty. We're gonna go ahead and disconnect, take this connector off from the TPS, throttle position sensor, which is this one right here, right? And then we're gonna go ahead and remove, I believe these ones are 13 millimeters. It's 1, 2, 3, right? 4, 5, and 6, all right? Then once you remove those 6 bolts that are attaching this assembly to the plastic intake manifold, go ahead and remove this, which I believe is a 12, and that also I think is a 12. Don't take my word for it. And then remove this complete throttle body. It's got some seals in the back, so take a look at that and try to keep it in place. Okay, all right. This baby should be coming off just like so. Come on. Okay. Oh, I forgot one, sorry. Okay. This is the throttle body right here. You can see that this side has got the O-rings, all right? Keep them there. O-rings are in good shape. And this is the throttle body right here. All right, we're gonna take it to the bench and see if we can lubricate the shafts. This vertical shaft right here on the top, bottom, play with it until it opens and closes and gets smoothed out again, and see if we can save this. All right, so first thing we're gonna do is go ahead and spray this whole mess with parts cleaner. Let it sit there, soaked in a little bit. All right. All right, so what I do is I put PB Blaster on the top of the shaft, right? Vertical shaft, right? Put it on the top and get some bottle. This is ring free, by the way. And I'll put it down here. So all the fluid is on the top of the shaft first. Then do the opposite on the bottom part of the shaft. All right, so I let it sit with a PV blaster and then some liquid grease. Let it sit in both sides, and little by little it went opening and cracking up a little bit until it went all the way. Then I used a brush. After I had them 90 degrees open, I used a brush and really went on the walls and on the edge of each one of the plates. Then after that, after I got it smooth, I went with a 500 grit sandpaper in the walls of each one of the manifolds, and then the same with the edge of each one of the plates. All right? All right, let's put this back. All right, so we'll put a little grease on these O-rings, right? I mean, if you got grease already on the metal, you really don't need it, but with the grease, I don't save grease. I like to exaggerate when it comes to grease, everything. All right, let's put this baby back. So when I put the ones in the block, I don't, tighten too hard, just kind of a little snug until I finish. Tighten it, the ones in the plastic intake manifold. Then I'll tighten the ones in the block. All right. After everything is already tight, get your linkage on the follower, right here. Snapped it in like so, boom, and then plug your throttle position sensor right there, and then if you want to put your cable, I will do the cable later. See, even the nut on the end of the cable was loose. This is weird, and I found a lot of not water, but a lot of salt on the front chest of the motor. This part here that is a different color on the top is the crankshaft balancer. I noticed a lot of salt on top of it on the seals of the crankshaft balancer. But then again, there is a lot of salt in the back top of the engine. So it looks like some water is like touching the flywheel, and the flywheel is just squirting water all over the motor. Now let's go ahead with the airbox and a bunch of little screws. 6 screws on the side right here, boom, 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 and 2 in the front. And don't forget your blow-by hose right here on the top of the airbox. Then put your throttle cable back in position with your safety clip. And blow-by hose is already on with the hose clamp on, the front screws, the ones on the side, the cables back in place with the safety clip. TPS sensor is already plugged in. And if you're gonna do this, I will advise you to get one of these guys right here, number 10 swivel. It helps a lot to get into these holes to remove those bolts. Let's see a result. Again, push for neutral, and boom, beautiful. And the cable, let's see if the cable is moving back there. I'll put a zoom, and yes, perfect. Everything is going smooth. Let's crank it up. All right, let's bring this baby down. I was kind of checking to see if I saw any water coming in. I wanted to increase the pressure in the engine block, so I connected the flush adapter on the top. See if I saw any difference, but still. Okay. see if we see any signs of uh-oh. Oh, I saw some water in the back. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, baby. I saw some water in the back. Where? Where are you? Oh, look at this. Found it. I noticed that in the bottom of all this stuff was a lot of this, right? It's like, I don't know, it seems like it's seaweed. This is definitely seaweed. I hope it's in the camera, is it? Yeah, right. So, and it's all the way down here. Look at this. I'm gonna take a bunch here. Look at that. There's more here, right? So I have a theory about this. I don't know how this got in here, but keep it in mind for what's coming in the next few minutes. This is an investigation. Okay, there is more here. Oh my God, look at this. There is more here. Is this seaweed? Anyway, what I think it was that all this stuff was inside the engine pan, covering the little rubber drains. Whenever water gets in the engine pan, there are two or four rubber drains to drain that water, right? But this was covering those drains. So the water that was coming in raised the level up to the first or the second intake going to cylinders 3 and 4, all right? Because the drainage were covered with that debris, with those seaweeds. Where is that water coming from? Get ready for this. It was on top of the thermostat pocket, the thermostat housing. Now I have to wait until the water comes. There you go. Look at this. Right there. That's the big hole. Right on top of the thermostat housing. Look at that hole. Of course, it was spraying all over the motor. Was enough water to spray the idler pulley, which we have to replace, to get everything wet. The flywheel was spraying water all over the motor. Look at this. Do you see that trickling of water right there? All right. So water kept coming in the engine pan, and the drainage were blocked. So the water couldn't drain, and it kept rising until it was absorbed or sucked in by the airbox directly into cylinders 3 and 4. Let's look at that hole. Right there. Right there. Look at the size of that hole. See it? Okay guys, wow, that was something. I knew from the start that when I was working on it and I was removing the airbox, I saw in the bottom, inside the engine pan, all this debris. And I said, this is not like plants from the outside. It looks like, I don't know, seaweed or something. Anyway, the good news is that we saved the customer, what do you call it? The throttle plates, complete assembly, which is like, I don't know, $500, $600, $700, and everything is working smooth. We're gonna take care of that hole, make sure water is not coming in anymore, and it should be okay. Let's keep an eye on that. If it leaks again, then we're talking about another engine block, but that's probably later down the road. I hope you guys learned and enjoyed this video. If you did, you learned something out of this, don't forget to subscribe and thumbs up and all that stuff. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care.